Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Before we continue on, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment on my videos, as well as hit that notification bell so you'll be notified whenever I come out with more videos. Now, this is just a general update, nothing really too special. Now, see, I have 4 name and shame videos already lined up to go. The problem is the fact that the screen sharing software that I use, I can't use anymore because it keeps messing up a lot. It will not let me sync the audio properly because the audio blah, 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 like that, and it desynchronizes my voice with what I'm actually saying on the screen. So, yeah, there's that problem. Plus, the fact that I'm too poor. I can't afford software that's professional. I can't even afford, you know, using the professional version of 123 apps that I normally use. So essentially, I've been trying my hardest to try and make more videos, but unfortunately, I can't really make any more videos unless it's in this format and not screen sharing, which is where a lot of my videos come from. So yeah, I'm trying my best. It's just the problems. Yeah, these problems are just yeah, and then we got the screen flicker right there. That happens a lot too. See, I use a cheap Chinese laptop that's over 3 years old now, and I have no cash to replace it, no cash to get an actual web camera. I have no cash to do anything, and I'm still trying to put out videos. That's the reason why I ask people, please donate. Send me an email to tuxedoshadow@gmail.com. Subject line, I want to donate, and I'll tell you how. See, I can accept donations from either international bank transfers, local bank transfers, and stuff like that. Now, I prefer electronic means. I really don't want to receive cash. I know people out there that don't really like me and they want to go ahead and try and hurt me if they can. So, yeah. That's the reason why I try to stay away from certain places. Now, for those that have seen my videos, you know my face, you know my voice, you know that kind of stuff. So if you ever see me in Taldean Ward of District 2, District 3, District 1, if you ever see me, come on up and say hi. But be respectful. All right? If you are going to be clown shoes or a douche canoe, then you can expect me to whip out my camera and start recording while I go ahead and become a douche canoe right back. Because I'm a mirror for how people treat me. If you want to treat me right, you want to treat me properly, that's fine. If you want to be a douche canoe, then I'm going to be a douche canoe also. So, yeah, essentially, I'm pretty sure not a lot of this contains a lot of foul language, so I should be able to get away with using it the way it is. Now, other updates. I've been jobless for over 4 months now with absolutely no hope of getting another job. Now, I've tried starting several businesses, but they've all failed. As far as the coalition goes, the coalition still exists. It's just there's only one member right now, and he is a non paying member at this time. So there's not much going on there either. No interest in the coalition because I make teachers wear masks and get vaccines, which is technically still required by the Vietnamese government, and that's not something that a lot of English teachers like. So, yeah, there's that, and the fact that some people think they know more than I do, and they think they can go ahead and get all this great stuff that I promise on their own. That's fine. I'm not forcing people to join the coalition. If they want to join, they join of their own free will. They can leave on their own free will. Now, the other thing is the fact that my daughter, Dinara, is 19 months old. Now, technically, she should be in school now. But unfortunately, I don't have the money to send her to school. The thing is, though, is the fact that when I do send her to school, I want her to go to a good school that will actually teach her the right things. Now, I do understand that kids are learning about computers and stuff like that these days. But the thing is, though, is I don't want my daughter to know how to use Facebook. I don't want her to know how to use YouTube. I don't want her to know how to use any social media of any kind because she doesn't need it. Some people think that kids need social media, that kids need this, that, and the other. No. The only thing kids need is a desk, a lamp, a radio, a bed with bed sheets and a pillow, and a dresser filled with clothes. That's it. The absolute basic stuff that a kid needs. Now, if parents choose to, they can buy a toy or two or something like that, and that's perfectly fine. But when I see kids that are 5, 6 years old playing with smartphones and tablets and laptops and stuff like that, I go, what does this generation become? When they want to shove cameras, they want to shove, you know, all these electronic devices in front of kids and expect for them to turn out okay. No, it's not it. That's called lazy parenting. I see it all the time. See, I have relatives, as everybody does, and I'm not going to try to be too specific about these relatives in case any of them are watching this video. I have some relatives who have kids, and these kids are constantly on electronic devices. If it's the TV, if it's tablet, if it's somebody's smartphone they stole slash borrowed, I more likely say borrowed, but sometimes kids will just snatch cell phones off and try to use them, and then they get upset when it's password or fingerprint protected or something like that. Now, they're always on electronic devices. And no matter how many times I mention to their parents that they should bring books over instead and have their kids read books and stuff like that, no, no. They want kids on the cell phone, on the tablet, watching TV and stuff like that. It's lazy parenting, plain and simple. Let's see what else, what other updates I got. The grandfather, he passed away a while back, and I stopped making videos out of respect for the dead. But since I feel enough time has passed, that's the reason why I started to make more videos again. And I can't make any more videos unless they're in this format because of the fact that the screen sharing software that I use is complete garbage. It's no good anymore. And I can't, for the life of me, find any other free software I can use that will do the same thing. So yeah. Let's see what else. I'm gonna go ahead and pause this video real quick, and I'll be right back in just a moment. And we're back. Now, this channel, I think for right now, until I can find more software, is going to be more of a video diary sort of thing where I just talk to the camera and say what's on my mind until I can find better software. But don't worry, the people that are on my shit list, and I know I've said shit quite a few times in this video, so it may get marked, not for kids under 18, but we'll figure it out. If this video gets flagged, I'll just have to go ahead and put a video or put that warning on there that tells people, that, hey, this video contains a lot of strong language and things like that. Well, the other news I can go ahead and think about is the fact that my father's death anniversary came up on June 18th. Now, what I did was I actually burned spirit money to essentially give him a little salary bonus. That's the way I look at it. Now, here in Asia, they do ancestor worship, and it's not like a religion, not like how I see it. It's more like remembering your ancestors and all the great things they've done. Because if you think about it this way, your parents, it took 2 to make you, and 4 to create your parents, 2 each. 1, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, 128, 256, 512, 1024, 2048, 4096. You see what I mean? So the further you go back in time, the more people it takes to make just you. Now, as far as religious affiliation goes, some people believe that their god or gods made them in their image, and I have no problem with that either. I'm just stating biological facts, not religion. So, moving on. Oh, let's see, what else am I going to talk about? Oh, yeah, so in the name and shame videos, I got quite a few screenshots of quite a few conversations that I've had with a lot of people, and one of them called me a racial slur. Now, I actually have a screenshot of this, even though I can no longer access the thread because the main person, not the racist, but the main person on the thread decided to hide all the comments that related to that particular thread. So I can't view it anymore, but I can still find the guy's profile. So that's good enough. Let's see what else. As far as general information goes, well, there's really not much to say. I mean, I work at night. I have absolutely no cash. I'm completely dependent upon my family for everything, from food to, coffee, tea, stuff like that. I'm dependent on my family for everything right now because I don't have the money to go ahead and do anything else. Now, people are like, why don't you just go back to teaching English again? I don't want to teach English anymore. I don't. Why I don't want to teach English is simple. I'm burned out. I got abused so much that it basically crushed my spirit in teaching English. And it turned me into something that I didn't want to be. It turned me into the kind of teacher that nobody wants because I got abused too much. Now, see, they say ignorance is bliss. Why can't you just ignore the, flagrant violations and just get a job? I can't. Because once you open up Pandora's box, that's it. There is no going back. That's the reason why whenever I see a bad contract, a bad or poorly written advertisement, I have the urge to speak out because I just can't leave it alone. Now, something else interestingly actually happened. Sung Dung Tu from IALC, even though I can't post the conversation because of the problems that I'm having with my computer, I'm still calling you out because you work for IALC, now IALC Vietnam. Same company, just a different coat of paint. And you decided to go ahead and make several comments, all of which I captured on screenshot. Also, the fact that you got very, very, very angry with me. I mean, you weren't professional in the beginning, but then you decided to post my personal information in a chat room, or not the chat room, but on the Facebook thread, which is expressly forbidden. You're not allowed to do that. Okay? Now, the fact that you even have my personal information means that you've held on to it far longer than what you should have. You needed to get rid of that information as soon as you illegally fired me, not go ahead and keep it years later. See, here's the timeline. October 2019, I got hired by IALC and I worked in District 10. Actually, moved out to District 10 from District 12 so I could be closer to my job. Now, I was so close to my job that I was able to go home, relax, and then come back for the afternoon classes. I was that close. It was awesome. But then one day I got sick with a very strange illness and nobody knew what it was. It was in late November when I got sick. Now, I had to spend time at Military Hospital 175. Now, that is a story in of itself because I had to spend 2 weeks there. Now, the doctors at Military Hospital 175 could diagnose me. They didn't know what it was. They said it's 50% tuberculosis and 50% something else. Now, see, the thing is, though, this was literally not 2 months before the COVID-19 outbreak. Now, I don't know if I had COVID or not because nobody knew what it was. They called it tuberculosis and diagnosed it as such in the end, even though I'm really, really sure it wasn't tuberculosis. Now, here's the thing. So I spent 2 weeks there. They actually charged me, I think it was 10% extra on my bill because I'm a foreigner. Foreigner tax. Yeah, they charge foreigner tax to foreigners who go to Military Hospital 175 for extended stays and stuff like that. Now, if you go for a quick visit, like you go visit a doctor or something like that, yeah, they'll charge you the going rate. But if you're there for 2 weeks like I was, you do get a 10% surcharge for being a foreigner. And I looked that doctor square in the eyes, like I'm looking at you square in the eyes. And I went and told him, where I come from in my country, we don't charge foreigners extra just for being foreigners. The American healthcare system is already outrageously overpriced as it is. You see what I mean? America does not charge people extra just for being foreigners. Now, the other thing is the fact that when I got out of Military Hospital 175, there wasn't any work left. There was no job at all for 10 months. Now, they did not, I kept asking them for hours, kept asking them for work, and they said there was nothing available. And after that, I just said, you know what? Whatever. I just stopped talking to them. 10 months later, they're like, do you still want a job? Yeah, sure, why not? So that's when they gave me Ho Ti Bi High School, they gave me Phan Van Sang High School, and Witten Van Coo High School, all the way out in the sticks. Yeah, Witten Van Coo High School is at least 50 minutes from my house here in District 12. 50 minutes from my house in District 12. And that's on a good day. If it's on a bad day, it could take 2 to 3 times that long to go ahead and get to the destination because of bad weather, bad traffic, funerals, or some combination of it. What happened was the fact that they went ahead and gave me those 3 schools. I worked the schedule just like I was supposed to. And then I started having problems at Ho Ti Bi High School because the students were being very disruptive. I was not getting the support I needed. And I was specifically told that that school, particularly, because this was in 2020, after the COVID outbreak, that school requires masks before it became a government mandate. That school requires masks. Now, you know what? I religiously complied with the mask rule. So much so that when I saw the cute young single foreigner male teachers that were walking around not wearing a mask, I kept telling them, put a mask on, put a mask on. Where's your mask? Put your mask on. We're required to wear a mask. Where's your mask? And of course, he kept saying things like, COVID isn't real. You're making that up. We don't have to wear a mask. I'm not going to wear a mask, blah, blah, blah. Yep, that guy was more concerned about his vanity and his personal comfort than he was the health and safety of his students. Now, you can imagine what happened to me was the fact that I got in trouble. Yeah, clown world, I got in trouble. See, here's what happened. One of these teachers, pretty sure he was from Russia because he had that thick Russian accent, went ahead and threatened to beat me up one day in front of 4 female teachers. 4. And I told IALC, now IALC Vietnam, again, same coat of paint, or the same company, just a different coat of paint. Told them that I want to press charges. I want to press charges. Nothing ever happened. Nothing ever happened. I asked for TAs because that school didn't have TAs and IALC didn't provide TAs. I asked for help. And of course, the school was very reluctant to give that help. And then one day, they went ahead and had a meeting about me without me being allowed to be present, which is required under Article 122(1)(c), which states that that I have the right to be there and to defend myself. And of course, I wasn't allowed to be there and I wasn't allowed to defend myself. So of course, it came down to the predicted guilty verdict and I got kicked out of school. Now, I bet you that cute young single teacher from Russia was still teaching at that school after I got kicked out because of the fact that they operate as a dating service and not as a legitimate business. That's the reason why they keep cute young and single versus old, ugly, married fat guy. They created a controlled firing. Essentially, a controlled firing works a lot like a controlled eviction, whereas 2 or more people decide they don't like someone and they do their best to create a situation that forces the other person to move out. Say you got person A and person B are roommates with person C. Now, all 3 people pay the rent, they pay utilities, they pay everything else. But person A and person B decide that they don't like person C, so they go ahead and create a living condition that's so unbearable that person C moves out. And then when person C moves out, due to all the filth and disgustingness and everything else, that person A and person B go back to being who they were before. Now, this happened in the same way. It's called a controlled firing. Now, a controlled firing is much the same way, whereas employee A and employee B decide that they don't like employee C, so they decide to create working conditions that are so horrible that person C ends up quitting. Now, I didn't do that. So what happened was, since I didn't quit, they fired me from that school. Now, I was still working at Phan Van Sang and Witten Van Coo School, but then for some reason, Witten Van Coo disappeared also. So I was left with only Witten Van Coo School and only 15 hours a week. Now, if you take the 20 kilometers that it takes, I think it's 22 kilometers, between my house to Witten Van Coo High School every single day, that means that it's 40 kilometers a day. which meant that I had to fill up 2 to 3 times a week. Now, for the 400 and I think 50,000 dong, 440, something like that they were offering me, it wasn't enough because I was spending more money in fuel and food than I was trying to save up and pay for stuff for my wife and everything else. Taking a drink of water here real quick. At least the video quality on this ain't too bad. I just can't share screens, which is terrible. Oh, man. Yeah, see, I'm in the altar room. I've actually decided to stay in the altar room even though there's no fan or anything else. Well, there is a fan. It's just it makes noise when I'm recording and can't have that. So, yeah. Anyways, getting back. So, 15 hours a week, 40 kilometers a day meant that I was spending a lot in fuel and food than I was actually making money. And eventually I told them that I don't want that school anymore. It's I can't do that. It's not sustainable anymore. Because on that 50-minute journey, that 20-kilometer journey, if anything bad happens, it's on me. They're not going to help me with anything. Now, they gave me Lung To Vin, and that was the middle school. And then they also gave me another school that was located literally in the same ward of District 12 that I used to live in. So it was a very short drive. Everything was good, but there wasn't that many hours. So yeah, they traded something with a lot of hours with something for next to no hours. I think it was like 7 or 8 hours a week. And eventually it just got to the point where, they took away Lung To Vin school and only let me teach at the primary school. That was the only school I had. Was that one. And then there was one more that they gave me because they took away Lung To Vin and they gave me another school, but it was all the way in Tan Binh district. So I had one primary school and one secondary school on completely opposite sides of the city, and they weren't giving me that many hours. So eventually it just got to the point where I was just like, you know what? I'm done. So they went ahead and essentially just said, they just illegally had me quit. That's it. They had me quit because of the fact that they were essentially trying to grind my spirit down to the point where they could go ahead and basically say, oh, well, he acted disrespectfully and blah, blah, blah. No. You guys knew exactly what you were doing. And I got fired without notice because of the fact that you tried to make me quit. I didn't want to quit, so you fired me. That's what happened. Now, see, the thing is, though, is the fact that it came without warning. There was no discussion, just, turn in your books, you're done, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. That's why I didn't fight it. Because at that point, I was like, you know what? I'm done. And it was actually IALC, now IALC Vietnam, or VN, that actually inspired me to learn my rights under the labor code. And that's the reason why I have that series made to show people the fact that I know my rights and I'm not going to be taken advantage of anymore. They're the reason why I made that. Now, this person, Sung Dung Tu, interestingly enough, I don't think that's an actual name because Google Translator says it translates it to Yangtze River or the Yellow River in China. Now, if it is an actual name, believe it or not, that's actually a good name. But I don't think that's a real name from this person. I think it's a pseudonym. But anyways, so essentially, they were the ones who inspired me to learn my rights. And here this year, I actually started branching out more, talking to more teachers and saying, hey, you do have rights. You should learn your rights. And a lot of people have viewed my videos. But the 29 subs that I have are proof that at least 29 people like my content and they want to see if I come out with more content. Now, my hours and things like that and subs are slowly creeping up, and that's awesome. And one of the people from Huang Viet went ahead and said, oh, well, you only have 29 subs or something like that. And I go, you know what? 29 subs is a lot more than I had when I first started. I'm actually happy with what I have. Now, yes, I want to make more subs. I want to make more, I want to have more subs. I want to have more views. I actually want to start turning a profit on YouTube. That's what I want because I want that advertising revenue. But I understand the fact that it may take an awfully long time before I can go ahead and start making a lot of money. Well, we're already at 25 minutes. Let's see if there's anything else I really want to talk about right now. Honestly, there ain't really that much. I mean, I got cockroach relatives visiting again, so it means I might go hungry this weekend. Um, that's another story for another time. So, if you like my videos, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment. Make sure to right here tap that notification bell. Beside it, tap subscribe. Or wait, subscribe I think is over here. Tap subscribe, hit the like, notification bell, all that. Send me an email, tuxedoshadow@gmail.com. Email is in the description down below. You can also join the chat room for Zalo for the English teachers there. If you have Zalo, if not, sign up. It's easy. It's not that difficult to sign up for Zalo, even though you may not have a Vietnamese phone number. Now, for anyone who likes to mock me, make fun of me, stuff like that, go ahead. There's plenty there to choose from. I'm old. I'm 37 years old. I'm going bald. See that? Look at that. Right there. Look at that. Let me show you. See that? I'm going bald right there too. Also, the fact that I have white hair in my beard and mustache now. Yep. And I'm 115 kilos last I checked. So I'm old, very fat, and I'm very poor. I have no money. And yeah, there's a lot there to make fun of. So you want to make fun of me? Go ahead. Go ahead. Because I've listened to so much of people insulting me and stuff like that. 9 out of 10 times, it just goes over my head. Now, the insults that get to me are the ones that I go ahead and make videos about. Yeah, so just send me an email, tuxedoshadow@gmail.com, saying I want to donate, and I'll go ahead and help you out with how you can donate to me. Please gift me a subscription to professional software so that I can make better videos. All I'd need is just one year sub, like 1 year subscription. That's it. Do some amazing professional software. And then I can go ahead and do what I do from there. Now, if not, then I'll just have to keep making videos, like I said, like this, like a video diary, until things get better. Now, the date today is June 24th, 2023. Current time is 2:35 a.m. Indochina time. That's the time that is here in Vietnam. All right, well, have a good day. Be safe, and I'll see you again soon.